Good morning, my little goblin friends, or whatever time of day you're at. It's morning for me. Hello. I am just trying to find. Oh, it's over here again. Yes, I keep doing this, for I forgot that I put some of my stuffs into a little box because I'm going to visit my bestie tomorrow, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited, friends. It's gonna be lovely. And so I'm just needing to grab my stuff from the little box I'll be taking to my bestie because I'm going to try and do, or we're going to try and do. That's not everything though that I need. Okay, that means that the stuff that's, oh, that is, oh, okay, that's literally where I looked at it, but that's fine, whatever, it's not like, it makes me feel weird that I literally looked it straight in the face and it wasn't there. Meanwhile, I just realized you are staring at a pretty still and inactive screen right now, so oopsies. So hello, this is a little crafty look. I went to the butterfly biosphere a couple days ago and look at all these pretty little things I got. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. I also ordered more contact paper. Is anybody missing their sword? It would seem that I have it here in the form of contact paper. Good night, nurse. Maybe it's more of a lightsaber. You connect it like here, and then you're like, whoa. Anyway, it was a very economical option. I just didn't realize it was also a huge option. So yeah, that happened. Look at how long this thing is. Anyway, whatever. So I'm going to be pretty much just putting a bunch of these mixed butterfly wings into contact paper to prepare this for some art projects for my bestie and I to have fun with. And I'm trying to make sure, should I do it whiter? Because here's the jolly thing, friends. This is a different brand than the one that I've been using for, because this roll, I like got a bajillion's worth of this contact paper, getting 2 rolls. So this is apparently 18 inches. And I was like, yeah, 18 inches. That doesn't seem like, a super long amount to work with. Okay, then. In case you were wondering, I was a wee bit wrong about that. This feels like a huge amount to work with. But that's fine. So, yeah. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I woke up at like 4 something today and then could not get back to sleep. So it is now about 6. But the nice thing about that is I went to bed at like 9:30ish last night. So that, or like between 9:30 and 10. So that means I got like a little over 7 hours sleep, which though my body tends to do better on like 9, we will not look a gift horse in the mouth because lately I've been subsisting more on like 5 or 6. So we will absolutely take a little bit of extra sleep. We love it. We love it, don't we, gang? I don't know why I woke up with a wee bit of the Scottish in me. Again, if at any point, the accent in which I am speaking is like the accent of your motherland, and you're like, please never do it like that again, just let me know, and I'll endeavor to improve the accent, or just use it more rarely on the channel. Ooh, beautiful, beautiful. That is, I believe, the bottom wing of a pale owl butterfly, but I could be quite wrong. I could be so wrong, folks. You just never know with me. Isn't this one just enchanting? Yeah, so at the biosphere, you just walk in and they've got just a whole little basket of mixed butterfly wings. And you can just go and rummage. I just walk, it's right by the cash register, which makes extremely good sense because, if there are any, oh no, I broke that one a little bit. If there are any nefarious individuals, these would be pretty easy to nick. But at the same time, it's like right by the cash register, you know? So, you know, there's like people going around who have weird ideas about getting places and who want to, you know, like pay money and get out of the gift shop. And so I went to the bit, you know, hello, is it okay if I just like browse here? And he's like, oh yeah, no, you're fine, take your time. And I was like, well, you're being very nice to me, but I don't know that your other customers are going to get real excited about this. So, but fortunately it wasn't like really busy. And so yeah, I was just chilling up right up there by the cash registers, not having to go through whole mental dialogues about how, yes, it's okay, wings to fly, for you to take up space. That's totally fine. As the brain says, I don't think it is, actually. I don't actually think it is. But anyway, we moved on, and I obtained beautiful, beautiful wings for my friend and I to do all sorts of lovely craftiness with. And for me to have fun making little crafty little videos with. This is a little, I feel like, stiffer than previous contact papers that I have used. I was always rather under the impression that it didn't super matter. I might have been incredibly wrong with that. Okay, that went exactly the line as I was expecting it to. This is, There's something about this that is giving me the concerns. I'm not quite sure what. Have any of you ever read the book Blink by Malcolm Gladwell? Very, very interesting book. Very, very interesting. And I feel like there's some sort of little something in my head going, about this contact paper. I'm not sure what it is. Okay, duly noted. I need to make sure the seal is wider around the big wings. Okay, but this seal's okay, so that does, yeah, okay. I need to make sure the seal area is wider. Because a lot of these are going to be being used because my friend is a genius and an incredible artist. And she is, I'm just going to get rid of the like sticky part here. She's already drawn this beautiful fairy character. And then I'm putting these wings in contact paper. That's my contribution to the artistic side of this endeavor. And also obtaining them. And then, because I live closer to the biosphere. And then we're going to figure out how to do these, like, as I've mentioned in previous videos. Or actually, I might, yeah, I did, yeah. These, not montages, collages. And so, it's going to be beautiful, I think. These are so pretty. Yeah, and then so I'm still going to be using some of these for like making the jewelries that I like making, but we are going to be using so many of them to make beautiful. And now I'm a beautiful butterfly. Okay, I'm going to try maybe doing a wider one and seeing if that takes care of the sealing margins concern. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So yeah, hello. It's been a bit since I've made a crafty ramble. I've done a bunch of the little random goblin rambles, but crafty goblin rambles have not been as much of a thing. A dandelion root tea, which I like to start the morning with. I just like starting the morning with tea, and dandelion root tea is specifically good for liver cleansing. Yes, I just licked that chopstick. Don't worry about it. Sorry, I also just hit the mic. Delicious. And so, you know, it can be healthfully beneficial health-wise, however you want to phrase that, to whatever it is I'm saying. Oh yeah, consume. If you're gonna drink dandelion root tea, and you're specifically more doing it for like the best health benefit side of things, good to do in the morning, like before you eat anything, so that, like, you know, there's nothing else that your liver and everything is working to process. And so, oh, hi, okay, that I also got some full on butterflies, which I may have mentioned. I was trying to explain this to my friend. It's not that I have, like, it's not per se that I freak out about the butterflies being whole, because I'm not, it's not the butterfly. I have a little bit of a thing where I'm not super okay with dead bodies. And, like, I don't think that's something that's, you know, particularly unique to me. I kind of, hi, flying away, things to fly. I just start to struggle with it, and it's kind of like, in any arena. Like, I would absolutely rather deal with finding a live bug in my space, or insect, I suppose, and escorting it into the out. Make him into the out now. I love the movie Home so much. I identify it greatly. Oh, it's so pretty. And now you live there. Cool. Oh, the sprinklers are going on outside. Okay, I was very confused for a second about what that noise was. Meanwhile, just randomly finding a little dead insect body in my space, somehow that's just a little bit more unsettling to me. And especially if I'm, like, not expecting it. And so just now I pulled out an envelope that happened to be one of the ones that I got specifically to be some of the full little butterflies, because I wanted to show my friend some of the cool, because just there's some of these, maybe I'll show you in a bit, but, like, there's some of them. What's fascinating, this is the same wing, right? Just, like, there's no part of the painted leopard butterfly that is not very, very vibrant, which in my experience tends to seem a little bit more unusual. It's not like I'm a butterfly expert, but a lot of the wings I've handled, you know, see, there's will be one side that's not very colorful, and then one side that either is very colorful, or in this case just has a bit more color, you know, for camouflage. But then some of them are just, we are here and we are sassy and we are colorful, and that is just what you all get to see. You're welcome. And you know what? We thank you, little butterflies, because you look gorgeous. So pretty. And then, like, and this is one of the, so here we have, like, this kind of pale green, sort of bluish, and then here we've got these red dots. So, like, on either side of the wings, there'll be just different colors sometimes. And then something that I was noticing with some of the full butterflies when I was going through the little envelopes was, because some of them I was recognizing, like, oh my gosh, I have worked with those wings and made jewelry out of them before, but they were like, the top and bottom wings were like totally different colors and patterns, and it just looked so interesting to me. So I wanted to take them to show my friend. But then that means that I had whole little butterflies that I'd kind of forgotten were there in this little arena of me working with butterfly wings. Yeah, I don't do great with gorgeous. Yeah, dead bodies. Not by much. Maybe it's some of, like, the uncanny valley of it. I literally have no idea. I don't handle it well in movies. Especially not, like, shrouded. I do not handle shrouded dead bodies well in movies. And then, of course, just anything that's, like, gory and whatever, I don't handle well, because please no, just why? Yeah, this paper actually might be a little easier to, oops, oh no. Okay, no, that one. Actually, yeah, this contact, I was like, oh, it's really stiffer than the other one. That might be a problem. Actually, this is turning out to be a little bit easier to work with because of the stifferness. It's not messing up the wings, or it's not, like, clinging to the wings as much because it's so stiff, so it's not, like, bowing down. That's kind of So since I last made a crafty ramble, I've been doing a lot of the role plays lately. I'm having so much fun, guys. I love doing these things. I've been doing, as I say, a lot of the role plays lately, and in order to do more like labeling on them that made, you know, good sense, I've because like so I have so much scheduled now. I have a whole little upload schedule. Those of you who saw any of the Crafty Ramble, the random Goblin Rambles, will know the body doubling support that y'all provided with me making those life decisions. It's been great. So at the moment, I have a little bit of an upload schedule planned out for myself, just because I'm having so much fun. And so, like, if I give myself a schedule with it, it's like, okay, let's go work on the fun, because now we got a schedule. And it's so much fun, guys. But here's the nice thing, as I'm I'm literally months ahead with all of them. So there's no stress, no stress. And meanwhile, I've just got plenty more little projects and fun ideas for all of them, too. Like, because, like, the Crafty Rambles, literally just anything I want to do that's crafty-ish. Some of them, I decided to not obsess about some of the Crafty Rambles versus the Goblin Rambles, because some of them, like, are fairly interchangeable. Because I was starting to think, like, well, maybe I should just do Crafty Rambles if it's, like, you know, a tutorial or whatever. And I'm like, no, I think I'm going to just kind of try to make it, like, if it's anything, like, specifically, you know, crafty or artsy-ish, those can be the Crafty Goblin Rambles, and then just the Rambling Goblin Rambles can be just if I'm not specifically doing something related to like craftiness and artsiness. So we'll see. I don't know. There's really no clear line of demarcation with any of this, because it's so very subjective, and it's all per my subjective viewpoint, which is at once empowering and a little bit like, you know, that could go to your head. Be careful. Anyway. But yeah, no, I've been doing more research about, because I needed to, you know, caption these different little videos. And, oh my gosh, look at this, guys. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So I finally learned the difference between what's an audio and an ASMR. Oh, there's two there. Oh, beautiful. What an audio roleplay is, an ASMR roleplay is, and resultantly, I've looked a little bit more into what ASMR is, and I continue to not be able to remember what ASMR stands for, because it's not, by the way, the A is not auditory. By the way, that is not, it's like whatever. Maybe it's automatic. If it was literally that easy, that's a little bit silly. Anyway, I don't remember. But yeah, no, the whole concept of ASMR is really interesting. No, careful, please. Okay, yes. So that is a malachite. All right, very, very nice. It's very, very interesting. Like, it is a whole neural response to these trigger things. Very, very interesting. And so yeah, so I've been looking up, like, you know, what are like preferred times. Oh dear, that might be too close. Can I move it? And by times I mean lengths of like role plays and ASMR stuff. And so it's just weird, because a lot, I think it would seem, I might be quite wrong on this, but it seems as though the ASMR role play realm is a little bit of a newer phenomenon, or at least not as well explored or documented. I don't know, because a lot of the information that I find online, oh, look at it, you're just like, oh, white butterfly. No, orange tipped. Yeah, so a lot of information that I'll be looking up, like, you know, so what's the good length? What's a good length for like ASMR role plays? And it's like, oh, I like to find ASMR videos that are, you know, an hour and a half, and I'm like, huh? Because they help me get to sleep, and it's all full of soothing sounds, whatever. Oh, you're not talking about the role plays. So got little. So, yeah, actually, this thicker contact paper, I've got to say, totally recommend. This is actually much easier. What is this brand? I feel like I want to recommend this brand or something. Ooh, I think it is Chinese. It's made in China. So I think it's a Chinese brand. Well, I mean, I guess if it's made in China, of course it would be a Chinese brand, but a lot of things are made in China and then come overseas, where it's like, oh yes, this is our brand. We made this, versus that appears to be just marketed under its original Chinese brand name, which is very, very, very beautiful sounding, I'm sure. I think Chinese is a very pretty, well, I just think other languages, I just think language sounds pretty, honestly. But because English, like, I know what is being said, it's more like dictated sounds for granted, versus other languages, I have no idea what's being said, so all I'm listening to is like, the melodic cadence or whatever, and I'm like, oh, that sounds so pretty! Part of why I love accents. I really, really, really struggle with learning languages, but I can at least sound a little bit like all the pretty people. I feel like I want to get a rolling pin out and just be like, bloop, bloop. So yeah, apparently a lot of the different ASMR stuff, as you all, if you're listening to anything labeled ASMR, you probably already know all this stuff. It's just for some of it's sleep aids, some of it's calming aids. It's just such a whole realm of fascinating artistry. I'm very intrigued by it, but I don't I love the role plays and whatever, but I'm not like super duper. I don't know if it's the ADHD that has trouble with or some of the sensory. I guess what I found out. I will. One second, I'll get to the certain point. Or maybe I won't. I don't know if it's like some sensory sensitivity, but a fair amount of the sounds I don't always like. Like I've heard, like I've kind of tried looking into some of it, because I'm like, it would be good to listen to some of the things and like find out what the things are, what you do. And yeah, I can't say that I personally love a lot of different ones, which makes me feel bad and like I'm picky or something. But there'll be all these cool sounding sounds, and I'm kind of like, that's a lot. So I think it's just this, like, some of my auditory sensitivity, and not that I'm like rude or anything, because I think it's really cool. I'll think like the sound is objectively cool or whatever, but like I can't like say, oh, I just love these ones that are like black and white. I can't really just sit and chill with like crinkly sounds or whatever. Although, like, again, they sound, oh dear, no, please, can you please? Oh, well, I guess. See, this is why the surrounding seal is so important, I guess. I'll think the sound is objectively cool. Wow, I have not really seen one like this. Like, a lot of these kinds of wings I recognize because I've gotten wings from here. That one. So the blue spots are new. What's that? Oh, the spider's new. Can I get my frequent kidnapping card stamp now? You, of all people, should know we discontinued that, what does he call it? Oh, it's like when a company, it's so funny. I need to see Megamind again. I think it's been a while without me having seen it, and it used to be one that I'd just watch every few months. Definitely one of my comfort movies. Megamind, both Wreck-It Ralphs. Oh, that's another 4. Wow, there are less wings than I thought I'd gotten to do. This is going to be shorter than I thought, which is totally cool and totally fine. And maybe for some of you who are like, please let it in. Hopefully not. Yeah, no, so I'm just feeling a little bit more like, obviously whatever I do is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and I would never expect that. But I've been real concerned, I've been real concerned, because again, I'm mostly doing all this because I think it's fun and I want to do it. But there is a certain element of like, well, I'd like to do something that somebody might like or enjoy. And so I've gotten a little bit more slightly more confident with being of the opinion that, oh dear, careful. Oh, I tore that. I'm so sorry. That while obviously nothing that you do in ASMR, as far as ASMR goes, is going to be everybody's cup of tea, wouldn't expect that, wouldn't want that, because that would mean we were all so much less unique and individual than we actually are, which would be kind of boring. If we weren't, again, I'm this random opinion that diversity is cool. Oh, no, little friend. Okay, yep, for the first time, but now. Mayday. Okay. Disaster has occurred. But it would seem that kind of whatever you do ASMR is going to end up being somebody's cup of tea. And that's kind of cool, you know? Oh, I'm very sad about that. Okay, it was just one of those things. And that was the beautiful blue one that I was really excited about. And one of my... Okay, wait, I might be able to fix this. I don't want my pretty wings to be... Because having the air bubbles makes them really hard to use, because then you can't really depend on like how flat they are or not. So I'm going to try and save the situation. We'll see how it goes. That is really annoying, but you know what? We're gonna pivot. We're going to... Oh, no. Because yeah, I don't know if you can see, but like the dust, the coloring of that butterfly wing is now detaching from itself. I don't want that to happen to this one. Hold on, I might be able to... I can fix it! Fix it, Felix! I don't know if I can, gang. But I think I'm doing it. Oh no, I messed up some of it. But I overall kind of fixed it. Dang it. Oh, it's mostly okay. As long as I can get that little vacuum sort of seal around it, it'll be overall, generally speaking, alright? Okay, now how do I fix it, Felix? Okay, let's save this little wing. Oh, excuse me. Much apologies. Indigestion is just a pain. We need to go this way or the other way. I've gotten very sidetracked on this minor autistic emergency, and I literally don't know what random tangent I'm on. Oh yeah, it would seem that in ASMR, as in most art, because art is both the creation of and enjoyment of art, is just incredibly subjective, right? So, as with any art form, it would seem that whatever you do is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, naturally. But it's unlikely that whatever you do won't be somebody's cup of tea. And that's a nice little reassuring thought. Okay, it did, as you can see, mess up the scales of the butterfly wing a bit, but not not enough that like it's unusable. And as long as we keep a good seal around it, it should be relatively okay. Okay, so I'm just kind of proceeding on the possibly incredibly erroneous assumption that for somebody in the world, the sound of me kind of quietly rambling and the sounds of contact paper being cut and butterfly wings being picked up, pressed to said contact paper being folded over, and then I'm probably going to then kind of cut out the wings, because I don't see why not. But yeah, like I said, I was like, oh, this video is going to be just so long. It's going to be so long. And now I'm like, I think I'm going, like, this is going to be just a couple more contact paper strips worth. And then I'm going to cut out the wings. And I'm like, well, I'm going to be done pretty soon. So yeah, somebody in a forum somewhere was like, might have been Corn, what's that one called that you always have to create an account for? It'll just be like, here's the most interesting answer to your question. Oopsies, you have to make an account. And somehow that annoys me, and I've never yet made an account on there. I don't like being teased in what feels like manipulative ways. I'm not saying they're being manipulative, but it feels a little manipulative, like, you want this answer to your burning question? What's your email address? Let's go to, I want to know the answer to the burning question. Nope, first email address. Well then no, you didn't get my email address. Fine, like, I really don't care. I'm just an online question form. I literally don't care if you give me your email address. There's so many people who are willing to go through that process. Me. Well, I don't get it either. Okay, bye. Oh no! Don't laugh, wings to fly, while you're handling the delicate treasures that are butterfly wings. Silly Billy, the silly girl, silly girl. Yeah. I want to go to the river park today, but I woke up kind of headachy, very tired. Oh, this one was very delicate. Oh, but I think it's okay. Okay, okay, it's smoothed on pretty nicely. Can you uncurl a little edge? Yes, please. There we go. So nice. Thank you, little butterfly. Oh wow, I thought it was going to be a couple more. I think it might just be one more. Yeah, I've only got like 3 wings in here. So yeah. Oh. Because I've just learned more and more that I like some of the study aid body doubling ones. And as I've said in multiple videos, yeah, the very idea of y'all is very companionable. Just this happy little community of little goblins that I have conjured up in my mind. Just the idea of it is very companionable to me. And so, just thinking about, anybody in the world watching this at some point through the years to come, and oh, beautiful. Just, chilling, maybe studying or something with this kind of just being in the background. It's kind of nice to think about. It's like, oh, I mean, I could be a useful little person on the planet, help somebody, in even just the littlest of ways. Please don't. Yes, it did. Very annoying. Naughty contact paper. Naughty contact paper. I'm just an inanimate object doing literally what you had me do. This is not my fault. In fact, I'm not even talking right now because, again, I'm contact paper. I'm an inanimate object. Yes, I know. But it was kind of funny to be like, naughty contact paper, naughty contact paper. Instead of being all like, oh, wings to fly, why are you such a bumbly, fumbly little fellow? Why are you like this? It was more fun to pretend that it was your fault, contact paper. But, that's, like, I meant that in a funny way, but that hits a little too close to home in this world we live in of narcissistic humans, so many of them in positions of authority, because it's like, that's a huge problem. You just can't admit that they're wrong. I love the online memes that were, like, highlighting, oh, that resolved pretty dang well. That came out okay. Okay, good. Thank you. I love the memes that were going around about there was one of the great arguments, dramanesses of 2025 amongst, certain people in power. And there was somebody who was like, let me get this straight. So-and-so said this very, very inflammatory thing. And was responded, and then the one to whom that was said responded with a very, escalative thing. And then the other one says something very reactionary. And then the other one says something seriously, please remain sealed. Please be sealed. And meanwhile, the two were both guys. And then I was like, so that's all what happened. And yep, that's why women are too emotional to be in politics. And being a woman and a feminist, that made me very happy. I read the coolest thing about feminism the other day, guys, where it was talking about how feminism is not just about the rights of and better treatment of women. It is about tearing down slash modifying slash improving slash whatever needs to be done to oppressive systems that affect anyone. And I was like, yes, because yeah, that's been so much of it all from the beginning. There have been, of course, people who were very, 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 very focused on like the the saving women side of it, which is very understandable because there's so many women in this world who need to be saved. Not in the like, oh, they need a big strong man to save them, but like they are literally in oh yeah, such repressed circumstances that by systemic awfulness that they don't have the ability to be okay. So anyway, yeah, so that article is really cool to read. And so people who get all fussy about like, oh, it's all about, women and them not caring about, other people, and it's like, maybe talk about something that you know about, human. Like maybe you could go try that. You might have a hard time finding something that you know about with, okay, that's kind of rude. But also sometimes just meet people or just see people speaking like that in the news. But yeah, it has always really bothered me, the whole like, if women were in charge of things, it would just be a whole bunch of countries not speaking to each other. And I just love how that's presented as a problematic alternative to not having war. They're just like, no, there wouldn't be any war, but none of us would be talking to each other. I'm so sorry. I would literally rather have the silent treatment than be bludgeoned into oblivion. I'm just going to say that right now. Do I want to deal with the silent treatment? No, I do not. Do I find silent treatment mature or constructive in any way? Absolutely not. I dealt with it as a child from a parent. It's demeaning and it's not constructive. It's very unsettling. But like, would I have rather dealt with that over her physically abusing me? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. I don't like. There's some different stuff from how I grew up that I'm maybe processing through in therapy, but none of it was ever physical abuse. I struggle to even call it emotional abuse because there's a huge amount of just total lack of awareness going on in that arena that caused some of this stuff. Just not knowing, But meanwhile, so many generational cycles were broken. So much generational trauma did not get passed on, one of which was physical abuse. Never had to deal with that. And you know what? For that, I will thank my parents so much. Are there things they could have done better? Of course there are. There's so many things in my life I could have done better. Are there things, again, that I am still processing through in therapy that happened when I was a tiny tot? Yeah, and there probably will continue to be things like that. But like, I would, like I say, rather be working through in therapy the stuff I'm working through than have to work through what a lot of other kids dealt with and or are dealing with, So that being said, if the options, because humans are immature and humans are going to do dumb things, but like, if the options between the retribution that humans will dole out for each other, if the options are war or the silent treatment, guess which one involves less humans being treated so cruelly that, and or dying, like, let's see, let's think about this, so ridiculous. So anyway, that was presented as such a joke thing from some outdated humor thing that I was exposed to growing up. And it really bothered me then, and I didn't really understand why, and now I do. Oh, because it's stupid. Oh yeah, I forgot I used to be like, how long are these? I need to like be careful of the time. Now I'm just like, have fun! Trying to find? I thought I had more.
I thought it has more butterfly wings to cut up. Do I not, Precious? Do you not?
Are you done? Are you done? Oh, such a great movie, and I love it. I did it again. I am really, really frustrated right now. Really, Wings to Fly? Really? You want to know why I got so many of the smaller wings? I got packets with so many just beautiful smaller wings because I saw at a Ren fair, there was this incredible vendor, I talked about this before, who put wings in vials. Well, these are, these are beetle wings shells. So cool. And there was another one. I ended up doing this one. I wanted to, oh no, I don't think I did this one. Yeah, I thought there was one that I did. Oh, no, this is the one that I did. I was like, that's not a violet I had. This is the violet I did. I wanted to. It's okay, Wings to Fly. It's okay. Oh no, I have to go back to the gift shop and get more wings! Which, I mean, you know, money is kind of a part of that experience, but apparently that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna like leave out these vials. Well, I'll leave out these ones to maybe remind me. My poor little ADHD brain just, if it's not,
if I can't see it, it doesn't exist, right?
That's not exactly, sorry if the table's moving.
It's not exactly how that works, my little friend, but you know, whatever. It's all right, little ADHD brain. The struggles do be real. It do be.
Oh no, what is this? Oh, sorry, all this activity is happening off screen. I found the jump ring. Anyway, there was a whole, once upon a time, and it all happened over here. It's fine, it's done. It's
We're all good now.
Okay, so that's all jolly, but that means that I don't apparently know where. Oh, I'm such a silly Billy. I'm such a little silly me. It's little. It's all. It was literally in the box that I had to go to my friend so that I could show her how I make butterfly jewelry.
I'm such a little silly Billy. I'm such a little silly Billy.
Yeah, because I had all these. Oh yeah, I was gonna, I guess, cut up a bunch of them. Well, I guess I can still do that. Because, like, I don't know. Oh, and yeah, now we just cut off those little sticky ends. Tra-la-la-la-la, spring is in the air, and I am a goblin with nothing interesting to say. To paraphrase the immortal words of a very cool stickbook from a very cool movie. Oh, that's okay, never mind. Yes, I heard that sound. Well, I guess I just won't. I guess we can kind of, because we're kind of going to be figuring out. Well, now I have all the butterfly wings sort of separated. Yeah, actually, I really, really like this thicker contact paper. It's much better. It's a little easier to work with. Oh, I'm done doing it again. Yeah, I heard that sound on a YouTube short. Well, actually, no, I heard it on multiple YouTube shorts, and I was finally like, I really like this song. And so I went and found it on Apple Music, and I have now purchased the rights to stream it for as long as Apple will allow me to do so. No, that does not bother me in any way that I spent money on something that I don't actually own. I just own the ability to listen to it for as long as the company that's in charge of it will allow me to do so. So that's, that's not dystopian at all. Anyways, catch a little. And obviously, it's, I believe it's in Spanish. I don't think it's in Portuguese. But I do not speak Spanish, and so I'm just over here literally saying gibberish. But I just love the rhythm of it. I showed it to my husband. I was like, this is amazing, because I've told him how I really, really like songs with like a cool beat or rhythm, and how I think some of it might be related to the ADHD, baby. And so at one point, I referred to this one that I really, really, oh yeah, no, it is Not to from the movie RRR. And I will listen to that song all day long. I did watch the movie. The movie is incredible. Love the movie. If you haven't seen the movie and you are in any way, oh, maybe I'll watch the movie. Just, if you are from the Western Hemisphere, it's a different sort of media than you might be used to. Just think of it as a superhero movie, okay? Because we all know that in superhero movies, physics means nothing. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Just think of it as a superhero movie. And guys, this is what, and like, I like superhero movies, but this is why I love the movie RRR so much. The bromance. The bromance. Oh my gosh, can we please have more platonic bromances in this world? Can we just have more platonic relationships represented in media? Just of all, like, guys and gals, guys and guys, gals and gals, non-binary and non-binary, just all of them. Can we normalize tenderness and gentleness and sweetness and just loyalty in platonic relationships? I mean, it is normal and it absolutely exists. But like, can we normalize that in media consumption, please, please, guys? I love it so much. I love it so much. Like, oh, the bromance of this movie. I just really, really love it when they show guys being gentle and tender. It just, it really touches my heart. And I just love that being portrayed in non romantic slash sexual interactions, because it's just, there can be, depending on the relationship where things like that are shown, there can be an element of transactionality, like depending on who the person is and blah 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 and all things, which is, not to say that, I'm not saying obviously that romantic relationships are transactional. I'm just saying that sometimes, especially in like media portrayals, if it's portraying a toxic relationship, then sometimes the gentleness or whatever is more manipulative or transactional than not, right? But like, if it's platonic, there's like, the altruism in platonic relationships, there's often pretty high levels of it. There's absolutely altruism that exists in non-platonic relationships, but the altruism that exists in platonic relationships is usually pretty fracking high. And by relationships, I mean like relationships, not the like platonic relationship of an employee and the boss, but the platonic relationship of friends, like just dear, dear, dear friends. There's a lot of altruism involved in that when it's a really close, just dedicated, just absolutely dedicated relationship, because there's no, particular, there's generally speaking no physical gratification involved. It's all like mental and emotional gratification, which, and or not at all. I don't know. Like, I love deep, tenderly portrayed platonic relationships. I wish there were more of them portrayed in media. And and I think some of this could come from the fact that I've had a lot of a lot of ups and downs with different relationships in my life, and so just all of them platonic. The only non-platonic relationship that I've ever had is with my husband. He is my first everything. I had crushes before him. None of them reciprocated, and they were only a couple. Meanwhile, like, the first time that I had a crush on somebody, and I guess there was one other time, but like, it was just weird because this other guy and I, like, we knew each other, and then we proceeded to like kind of crush on each other at just different times. Just our timing was never right, and which was good because great guy. I do not think we would have been suited, which was why, because I was like, we were both kind of interested at first, and then we're both kind of like, we're probably fine. And then I started crushing a bit after we were like, oh, we're just going to be friends. And then as I was crushing on him a bit, realized, yeah, I think we're better as friends. But then we never like had really a conversation about that. And then he proceeded to, just for a little bit, crush on me. And it was like, oh no. And so, like, I very awkwardly explained that it was like, I'm not in a space for this, sorry, so, let's not. And I did not communicate fully about it, but still there was nuance, and like he was gracious, I was gracious, we both all understood that, like, no. But anyway, life is complicated, and so are relationships, especially when you have little to no experience with them. So that was like the only other relationship that I ever had where, like, we kind of, there might have been one other one when I was a teen, but that one was there was a lot of nuance going on, so I don't really know. But that one, like, there was, like, I think we might have, like, mutually crushed on each other a little bit, but just in, like, a very distant sort of way, that then he went away to college and we were all good. Like, again, very, very distant. We had conversations sometimes at church or whatever, and that was it. And then in my mid to late 20s, this other guy. But again, the timing of that was really off. And then my husband. And then I'd had a crush or two that were absolutely unreciprocated, and I was totally cool with that. Like, it works. It can be a little bit painful, but also, like, sometimes you're just like, yeah, no, the heart's kind of doing the thing, but, like, the brain, I totally understand what's going on. Like, when you're starved for affection, platonic affection, or platonic kindness, can, your brain goes, oh, this means it's romantic, right? No, not really, not necessarily, in some cases. And it was definitely not in this case. But anyway, none of you needed to know any of this. But yeah, like I say, a couple, there were like 2 unreciprocated crushes. One I'd say was like a slight crush. One was a bit of an infatuation. Well, yeah. So I think the one, I love how I'm dissecting this. I think the one as a teen, probably a crush, a little bit of a crush, and then the one in my mid-20s, a bit of an infatuation, I'd say, and then the one in my then there was another one kind of in my later mid-20s that was definitely just a crush, and very just logicked my way out of that one. And then there was the kind of like, we kept missing our timing crush. And then my husband. And then it was the first time that it was ever like reciprocated and at the same time. And if anything, like, he expressed interest, and I was, of course, such a turtle, and so I was like, we're becoming friends. And he was just so patient with me. He was so patient with me, guys. Just beautiful, beautiful. And it's almost like, again, tenderness in men is a huge thing for me. And he was just so tender, so gentle, so kind. Until just slowly, 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 I became convinced that, oh, it's not just that I'm crushing on him. I think he's crushing on me. Meanwhile, the 1 or 2 friends that at the time I had as confidants were just like, yeah, no, he's absolutely interested in you. And I was like, yes, but would you actually say that? And they were like, yes, could you just? And I was like, I don't want to be presumptuous. And they were like, I don't know what to do with you. And no, it was great. Good times. My husband's and my story is, in my opinion, a very, very sweet testament to how someone being gentle and patient and kind and focused on the other person being able to reach the point that they need to reach to feel safe in the love and affection that is being offered, aka my husband being patient, I being the one that, had a lot to work through. You know, if you don't feel comfortable being loved, then that complicates any sort of relationship, but definitely a romantic one. And like we were seriously dating and all the things, and I totally loved him. We were still married, and I would still be like, "Are you sure you haven't made a horrible mistake?" And he'd be like, "Yes, I am. So let's talk about this. Why are we feeling this way today?" Lovely, lovely man. Yeah, a good egg him. We like my husband. Well, I adore my husband. But yeah. Why did I get that? Oh, yeah. So my husband was my first everything beyond having a crush or being infatuated. Like anything in a romantic relationship that goes beyond that, my husband. Yes, just everything. And for me, that was perfect, and that was just lovely. It's not the way for a lot of people, and it wouldn't have worked for a lot of people or been preferable for a lot of people, but for me, that was absolutely perfect. I have been told, and then I looked it up and was like, oh no, this totally is. I've been told I'm demisexual, and I looked up what demisexual means. Because I was like, hey, could you explain? And they were like, yes. And then they proceeded to, you know, when people like explain to you in a way and you're like, oh, you think that I have a lot of context that you have that I don't have. And I don't know what questions to ask about the context that you have to gain the context that I need to understand what in the floof you're talking about. You know, those situations. So this was one of those situations. And fortunately, I was like, just, okay, cool, yeah, love it, love it, love it. And proceeded to just go my merry way and look up what the floof demisexual was. Because it had been explained to me a couple times, and I just, like, I understood, but I never understood. I was like, because the first time it was explained to me, it was like, so you only like smart people? And they were like, no, no, no. And so they tried to explain it again, and I was like, so you only like smart people? I was very confused. And then this other one tried to explain it, and I was kind of like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll finally understand more. And I didn't. But then I looked it up online, and it made it very succinct, and it connected with my brain. My understanding of being demisexual means that you have to have an emotional or intellectual need fulfilled before you feel like physical attraction, like attraction, not like, oh, you know. And that was interesting because I was like, oh no, that's everything. Yeah, I have never been just, I see your face, I'm interested in you. It's always been, oh my gosh, we had this great conversation or whatever. That was really nice. We have a few more great conversations. Oh, that was really nice. Oh, they're really kind to me and everything. Oh, I think I might have a little bit of a crush. You know, it's always been like that. Meanwhile, I can absolutely appreciate somebody who, uh, you know, I like the looks of. And so I met my husband and was like, oh, I was like, he is very, very nice looking. I just loved his eyes. Oh my gosh. And like all of them, but his eyes, like, really, really, I different people have like a different feature or whatever that'll like is the thing that their brain zooms in on. And for me, it's eyes, because to me, eyes are very the whole, you know, the whole windows of the soul thing. And so, yeah, um, I met my husband. Thought he was just really, really cool in the conversation that we had, but it was more of a little group conversation that we had, so I didn't have a whole lot of like getting to just know him one-on-one. But I thought he seemed amazing. I thought he seemed really, really cool, and I was like, I want to try and be friends with him. And then just proceeded in like different group activities to not really see him, but then I'd see him sometimes, and he just always seemed really nice and really fun. And then he reached out to me, and I was like, oh, what does this mean? Well, it meant that he was interested in me, but at the time I was like, I don't want to jump to conclusions. Definitely don't have, you know, any sort of anxiety disorder or anything like that. Certainly not. Certainly not. Yeah, I was very honored to be someone that my husband liked enough to reach out to, and then to continue reaching out to, with all my fumbliness and shyness and everything. And so yeah, apparently I'm demisexual, which means that before you feel like, before you look at somebody and like want to have any physical needs or desires fulfilled by them, like emotional and intellectual needs and desires need to be fulfilled first before your brain even goes to that space, kind of thing. And I'm probably explaining it weird. But anyway, so, you know, probably explanatory of why I really love platonic relationships, platonic friendships, I mean, and wish that they were portrayed more in media, because I just love, 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 love that. And I find it very, very cool to have relationships where mental and emotional needs are uh, recognized, fulfilled, looked after, like prioritized, um, without the promise of any physical satisfaction, any physical wants or needs being fulfilled, per se, like as far as attraction goes. Anyway, I'm trying to phrase it as delicately as possible. So yes, 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 yes. Anyway, thanks for visiting with me and body doubling. That was fun for me, and hope you are doing so well. I hope that you're. There's always like so many different things. It's like, oh, this and this and this, and this, so I don't want to be overwhelmed. But let's talk about how I hope you are giving yourself permission to relax. Not just knowing that you need to relax and therefore trying to relax, but like working on getting comfortable in your headspace to fully give yourself permission to relax when you need relaxing, which is, in the society of this modern age, generally speaking, always. We need rejuvenation. We need restorative, rejuvenative recreation. We need rest. Rest is productive. My friends, my little goblin humans, my beautiful, beautiful people here, just, if you do not feel comfortable with the idea of giving yourself just carte blanche permission to rest, let's kind of aim toward feeling neutral about that, and then getting to where we feel comfortable with enacting the kindness of giving ourselves carte blanche permission to rest when we need and or even just want it. Because all the funny internet posts about like, why don't I feel relaxed after relaxing? Because if your mind and body are not engaged both engaged, non-judge your mind has to be engaged in relaxing, rest, recuperation, recreation for it to be fully effective. And if there's a part of your mind that is sitting in judgment over you taking the time and or resources to rest, relax, recuperate, enjoy recreation, then it is just not going to be as beneficial as it could be. Obviously, however you end up sleeping is going to be good and helpful for you if you need sleep. But like, if you can work with your mind being able to feel neutral about needing to sleep, and eventually feeling good about, oh good, we get, okay, let's take care of our body right now, we're going to go to sleep, it helps you get to sleep and everything. Now, some of this I'm saying from experience, and some of this I am saying from like theoretically it makes sense to me, because I deal with insomnia mostly with the whole like having trouble getting to sleep, and then I'll wake up usually in like 3 to 4 hours, and then usually fall back asleep, and then, or I'll sleep like 5 or 6 hours, and then just not be able to go back to sleep. And sometimes even after the 3 to 5 hours, I like can't go back to sleep. So that's fun. So yeah, and I definitely struggle with giving myself permission to relax, and definitely have a hard time giving myself permission to enjoy recreation. So
Let's work on these things together. We can do it.
I believe in you, little goblins. Rock on! Loves.
Bye.